Hi VC, this is Bev here, Clarko Vision, and this is a video. Of course it's a video, isn't it? I haven't done one for, I don't know, maybe a week and a half or something, but I've recently discovered when I was uploading the last two of my videos, I was noticing that they were taking longer than usual to upload, and it turns out there's a fault to somewhere outside, not in the house, but outside in their network. There's a fault in the line or something. We had the engineer out today, and so my fibre broadband is dead slow and stopped. So I am putting this video out, but you know, it'll take forever to upload. But I just wanted to do this video. I've been watching a lot of stuff lately on the VC, trying to keep up with things, and I've noticed recently a couple of people have put out updated wants list or grail lists or whatever, and I quite like watching these videos because I find that it's interesting to see what stuff people are after, and you know, and for me personally, I like to look about and keep my eyes open as well for other people's stuff, as well as just being out looking myself, and you know, and so there was Black Star Vinyl had one out. And I was recently watching Scott Waters. He's put out two sections of a grail list, stuff that he's managed to obtain and stuff that he wants on record that he has on CD, you know, and really interesting to watch. So, and then it got me going back and looking, because I remembered I did a wants list a while back. I think it was about a year ago now, actually, because it's September last year, so we're coming into September now. I put a wants list up, and I went back and looked at that, and I think there's only 4 things on that list, about 4 that I still haven't got. I've managed to get a good chunk of what's on that list, and a lot of that was down to the amazing Jim Davies. He must have looked at that and went and, I don't know, he hunted them down or something. So yeah, I just want to say again, thanks so much for all that you've done, Jim, because that's amazing. And this video is by no means a video to say, here's what I want you to get me next, Jim. No, absolutely not. So don't even think about it. This is just me putting out a list of things that I am after. Some are rare, some are, well, I don't see rare, I just mean harder to get, because 1 or 2 are 90s, and you know what the 90s means for everybody regarding records. Some of them are new stuff that's, you know, like within the last 2-3 years. So it's a whole variety. I just want to throw this out there just for people to see, and as I said in my last video, this is not for anybody to go and buy from me at all. All I ask, if you are one of these people that keeps your eyes peeled, is if you do see anything on this list and you know, oh, I Bev was after that, let me know that you've seen it somewhere, that's all, and then I can decide if I want to buy it. Or if it's something I can get online, or whatever, or if it happens that you pick it up for me, then I am more than happy to reimburse you the money for that. That's how that would work if that was to happen. But as I say, this is just purely an interest thing, and I wanted to update my wants list anyway for myself. And this is by no means a complete list. This is just a bunch that I've pulled out of things that I am after. some that I know I want off the top of my head. I mean, I could, as I'm sure everybody could, list hundreds. I don't think you'll ever complete your list of wants in your lifetime, because there's always going to be stuff adding throughout the course of time. So anyway, so I'm just going to show, I'm going to show them using my, because I don't edit videos or any of that, I'm not going to stick them up in the corners or anything. It's long enough just uploading it. So I'm not really an editor, but I'm going to show them. I've downloaded pictures of mostly Discogs just for a reference, so you can see what they are, and I'm going to put a list of them below anyway in the comments. Hang on, I'll need to unlock this. So as I say, I'll just rattle on through them. I've got a wee ledge so that my hand doesn't get tired holding this thing up. So first up, as I say, it's a mixture of new and old. This is a new one. This is, and I'm hoping you can see it clear enough, I don't know how well. This is, this is Fury, and The Lightning Dream is the name of the album, and I think this is a recent thing from something like 2016, 17, 18. I honestly can't remember, but it's kind of new wave of traditional heavy metal, and I hope I've got that right, because there's so many things I've looked at and I'm possibly getting things mixed up. So basically, Fury and The Lightning Dream. Next is another newer band, Steel Knight and Fight Till the End. This one is from the 80s. This is Skagarack, the Danish rock group or metal group from the 80s, and it's A Slice of Heaven by Skagarack. I don't know if this is round about 89, 90, something like that. This one is a grail, if I can get it. Pretty Maids and Sin Decade is this album. This is 1992. I've got it on CD, so I'm after a vinyl copy, an original pressing of this in really good condition, because this is a grail. This is also one I am after. Now this is, as some of you may have seen recently, I recently got the Pretty Maids self-titled EP, but it's a different cover to this. It's kind of red, and it's kind of got this black and white photo of this lassie's legs and, and a guitar. That was the first pressing from 1983. Now, when CBS Records signed them up in 84, they reissued it, and this is the cover of the 1984 CBS pressing. So I would like to get a hold of this version only, either on vinyl or CD. There is a CD press. I think there is a Japanese issue of it. I don't know if that's a reissue, so obviously the Japanese one, if I happen to come across that at a decent price, but you know, so just basically CD or record. The 1984 CBS version. This is another grail. This is Running Wild. This was their single, Bad to the Bone, which was off their Death or Glory album. This was released in 89 as a single, and I want the 12-inch maxi single, original press from 89. I think it's on CD single as well. I'll gladly take any version of that, but I'm really after a nice copy of that. Then we have Petra. I want this album as well, another one of them. This is Not of This, what is it? Not of This World. So I'd like to get a copy of that one on vinyl. Most of these I want on vinyl. I will state If I don't say anything about a CD, it means vinyl, but I'll list all that below anyway, just for interest purposes. Petra's On Fire, I would like to get this one as well. Blazon Stone, this is a new wave of traditional heavy metal band. This was their, I think this was their debut album, Return to Port Royal. These guys are definitely influenced by Running Wild. I think I've mentioned that before. I have a couple of their albums, but this one is the first, I think. I would love to get a copy of that on vinyl. Ancient Empire and The Tower, again another new wave of traditional heavy metal band, and another one by them, Ancient Empire, that one is Eternal Soldier. I'd like to grab myself a copy of that one. This one is one from Helix I am after, from the 80s. This is No Rest for the Wicked. I'd like to get a nice vinyl copy of that one. Bonfire's debut album, when they changed from their other name, was it Cancumin or something? This was the first album they released as Bonfire in '86, and this is I forgot the title of it. Don't Touch the Fire or something like that it's called. Aye, I think it's something like that, or Stay Away from the Fire, or something like that. But that's the one, and it'll be below anyway. This band here are a German band from the 80s, No Trouble, and this album's called Watch Out. Another one from No Trouble, I think this is just self-titled, No Trouble. This is another German band. I think these guys were one and done. V2 is the name of the band, and it's self-titled V2. This band again is another one from the 80s. I think they were a one and done, but I can't be sure, and it's Hawk with self-titled Hawk. Back to new bands, new wave of traditional. This is 2016. This is Snakebite and Princess of Pain. Another new one, Riot City, Burn the Night. That's another of the new wave traditional heavy metal. And another one, Lovell's Blade. Yep, Lovell's Blade, and this one is, I can't even read, The Nightmare Begins. Yeah, it's kind of awkward reading it the wrong way around. And now this band, again, this is another 80s one, and it's Cutthroat, and I think this was an EP, and I think it's around, is it 85, 84? But these guys, I think they're American, if my memory is not jumbled up. So Cutthroat, self-titled EP, great kind of traditional heavy metal. Running Wild, back to Running Wild. This is Death or Glory. Now I do have the remastered issue of this on vinyl and CD. I am after an original press of this from 1989 on Noise Records. I am also after an original press of this one, Blazon Stone. This is 1992, again Noise Records. I'm after an original of Power Slave from Iron Maiden. This is one of my favourite Iron Maiden albums. I've decided I want to try and hunt down an original because I've got my other two favourites on originals. So I want to make my top three. My three is Power Slave, Somewhere in Time, and Seventh Son are my favourite Maiden albums. So this one, original. This is, it's a bit, because it's a white background, this is Diamond Head, and this is Lightning to the Nations. The White Album, as it's otherwise known as. Now, this has been reissued by High Roller, so I'm not fussed if I get an original or a reissue of this. I just like to get myself a copy. The Cult Electric, I am after a copy of that on vinyl. Again, right back up to date, Sabaton, The Great War. I have yet to get this one. I've just not got around to ordering it yet, but I thought I would throw it in there because the artwork's brilliant anyway. Quartz, I am looking for this as well. I have a couple of Quartz albums. One I recently picked up, which I'm going to show in another video. This one, Stand Up and Fight. I think this was about 1980. I would love to get an original of this in decent condition as well. This one, Quartz, is their debut album. It's just self-titled Quartz. I think this is 1977. So if I can track down a nice copy of that. I know Metal Mickey just recently picked up a CD of it. Brilliant find. Back to Diamond Head, I would like to grab this one as well. This is Am I Evil? I think this is it around 1990? Something like that. But yeah, Diamond Head, Am I Evil? And Diamond Head, Canterbury. This one was from about 82, 83, 84, I can't remember. Maybe 85. So Diamond Head, Canterbury. Judas Priest, I would like to grab on vinyl, Redeemer of Souls, if I can. Still on the hunt for that, and also Angel of Retribution. And I've decided, because this is my favourite artwork and I like this album, I have it on CD. I think I want to get a vinyl copy of Ram It Down. From 88, this one. I'm not too fussy if it's a reissue or an original, but yeah, just it's because the artwork's so cool, I have to get it on vinyl. I don't know why I've put that one in actually. That is Pretty Maids, and this is their latest album, which is not even released yet, so I'm not sure why. I think I've got two maybe. But it's Undress Your Madness. This is going to be coming out, I think, in October or November. So I will be getting this anyway at some point. And again, Eclipse Paradigm. Is that how you say that word? A paradigm? I don't know. This is coming out in September. This is their latest. So I'll be getting that as well at some stage. But yeah, they're not out yet. This one is out. This is Hammerfall's latest, Dominion. I'd like to get that at some point. Domain. This is the band who started off as Kingdom and briefly switched to Domain. They're German, and this is an album from I think 88 or 89, so I want this one. It's Domain's Before the Storm. And Domain's third album, Crack in the Wall. Can't remember the year, about 1990 or something. And my favourite at the moment, Accept album, is this one, Russian Roulette. I have it on CD. I would like to get a copy on vinyl. Preferably original, but I think there's a repress of this, I'm not really sure. But so that's another one I'm hunting down. I'd like to get Alice Cooper's Trash. That's an album of his I have always been wanting to get a hold of since back in the day. I would go with that on CD or vinyl, I think. Yeah, whatever for that one. Wasp, Golgotha, I'd like to get this one. I've heard a lot of people saying it's really good. I don't own any Wasp stuff. I was never into them back in the day. I was never into their earlier stuff too much. I think they're a bit too extreme for me, more so than Alice Cooper maybe even. But this one I believe is apparently really good, so Golgotha. And the other one I'm after is Babylon, which I'd like to get as well by Wasp. This one I'd like to get a hold of. Now I think this has been reissued as well, but as I say, If it's an original in nice condition, I'll be happy. This is Blue Oyster Cult, and this is On Your Feet, On Your Knees. That's the title up there. It's a live album. I think it's a double LP. It was initially Columbia, I think. Now this is the 70s. It's about 76, 77, I think. But I listened to this live on YouTube and I really enjoyed it, so I decided I want a copy of that. At some stage, Giant and Time to Burn. I am after this on CD. I'm not so fussed at getting it on vinyl. I'll be quite happy to have this on CD. However, I guess if the vinyl was to show up first, I'd probably grab it, but yeah. Back to Running Wild, another one. I was just checking what I wanted to get of theirs. I want to get all their 80s stuff on vinyl. I've decided. So the First Years of Piracy, I have this on CD. This was a kind of compilation issued about 91, so I'd love to get a copy of this on vinyl, OG, original. Running Wild again, this is Gates to Purgatory. This is their first, this is a debut album from about 84, 83. I would love to get an original of this, or a reissue. I don't have that on vinyl at all, so either version's good. Same with this one, either reissue or original. Second album, Branded and Exiled. Running Wild, I think their 80s albums are my favourite, but there's a few that go into the 90s that are pretty cool as well. This one's a more recent one of theirs. It's one of the more recent ones I don't have. Resilient, but I'd like to get a hold of that one on vinyl if I can. I'll probably get it on vinyl and CD, so either format of that is good for me. And this is another one. I believe there is a reissue of this on vinyl. I don't know if it's Music on Vinyl that reissued it, but apparently there's some unofficial releases out of this one as well, according to Discogs, the Brotherhood. So I would like to have an official release, obviously, of that one. If anybody sees it anywhere, can't remember the date, CD or vinyl, don't have that one at all. And again, this is one of their 80s ones under Jolly Roger. I don't have this on vinyl at all. I have it on CD, but either original or reissue for that one. Oh, I must have put that in twice. Now this one is the final Jolly Roger, and this is a live album from Wacken in 2009. This must have been when originally, I think Running Wild were going to call it a day, quit completely, and obviously Rock and Roll did a final concert thing tour, and he decided to come back again later. So but this is a double album. It's also on CD and DVD. I'd love to get the DVD as well, so anything you see of this, give me a shout please. This is Running Wild, and I can't remember the name of the song, but this is one of their singles. This was one of their first singles they released, so this is a 12-inch single. Oh, and it's off of, bear with me, I'll have to go and get it, it's going to annoy me. It's on one of these. Victims of State Power, I think it is. That's the one, which is off of Gates to Purgatory. This was the single, I think, they released. 12-inch maxi, and that's some of my CDs full of it. Yeah, so Victims of State Power, I think this is. It was originally issued in 1984 in Germany, I think, only. Discogs has the details, and I know there is also some unofficial reissues where it's on purple vinyl, but the original's on black vinyl. So it's the original pressing I'm after of this 12-inch maxi. That's what the original should look like. It's on noise. Don't know how well you can see that, but again, this one is Running Wild's Wild Animal. This was another single release. This one was in 1991, because they're on tour in 1990 according to this hype sticker that's on it. Again, I would like this either on CD single or 12-inch maxi vinyl. Another single, can't read it. Lead or Gold, that's it. I can't remember if this was just released on CD single only. But yeah, I'm looking for it in either way. And the last, was this the last of their singles that I'm after from the 80s, 90s? This is The Privateer. Now this was only issued on CD single, I know that much. So CD single of The Privateer. Oh, Little Big Horn, yeah. This one, I do have the CD single of it, I managed to pick it up. But it is on 7-inch single and 12-inch maxi, so I'm after one of the vinyl copies of Little Big Horn. And another Running Wild, this is a kind of compilation. It's a Japanese issue only, and it's The Story of Jolly Roger, I think it's titled, if I recall. I don't think it says it on the front there. Hang on. But this is a Japanese only release, so it's most likely going to be an online purchase for that one, I think. And I think it only was released on CD, but The Story of Jolly Roger is this specific one I'm after. And if I can, I always try to go with the OBI strips on Japanese stuff if I can, just because it's part of the thing for Japanese stuff. But anyway, so that one. And the last, I think this is the last Running Wild one. This is a recent release, I think. I think it was either 2018 or early this year this came out, and it's a double album. It's actually the album The Rivalry and the album Victory. Now these were only initially ever released on CD before, and this release marks the first issues on vinyl, so I'm after the double of that to get, because obviously it just comes in like a gatefold. So I'm going to pick up a copy of that at some point. Now, that's yellow. I don't know how well you can see this, but this is black on yellow. This is a new wave of British heavy metal band named Virtue, and this is the only single they ever released, I believe, and it's called We Stand to Fight. 7-inch single vinyl. Really difficult to get a hold of, but it's a great song. I love it. And on the other side there's a song, I can't remember its name. So I am on the hunt for that if it can be found. I don't know how easy it'll be, and how cheap or dear it'll be, but it's something I am after. It's round about 1980-ish. Again, I'll put the details below. But yeah, there is also bootleg versions of this that have been reissued later down the line, so you need to make sure the original or the official, it was reissued at one time. So it's either the original from back then or the official repress, but there's also dodgy versions out there, I think, of this one. So Joan Jett and the Blackhearts, I'm after this album on vinyl, Up Your Alley, 1988. This is a great album. It's like the Alice Cooper one. I've been wanting to get it for years and still never got it. Scorpions, my favourite Scorpions album, Crazy World. I have the CD. I would like to get a copy of this on vinyl. Treat. This is the last of the Treat ones I think I'm after, which is Scratch and Bite. I think this was their debut from about 1983, so I'm on the look for that one. Hammerfall, I would like to get a couple more of theirs. Renegade, I think this is their third album. It's been reissued, so I'm you know, CD or vinyl, I'll take that one. And another Hammerfall I'd like to grab is Evolution or Revolution. This one is a bit more recent, I think it's 2014 or something like that. I'll take either format. 220 volt. This one is Mind Over Muscle. I'd like to grab that. This is the 1980s. And 220 volt, self-titled. That was their debut. This one was about 1983. To get that on vinyl. Bonfires Point Blank, the third album. I have it on CD. Don't have it on vinyl. I'd like to get an original press of this one. And Bonfire's latest, which is Live on Holy Ground, back in 2018. I'm going to get a copy of that because I want it. And this is Kakuman. I'm not sure if that's the correct pronunciation. Kakuman, self-titled. This is Bonfire before they were Bonfire. And this is, I think it's their debut first full-length LP. It's about 1980, roughly, this album. And I'd like to get Detonation from Bloodgood. That's another one I'm trying to look for. And we're getting near the end. After another couple of Helix, this is their debut, I believe, Breaking Loose. I'd love to get a copy of that at some point on vinyl. This one is their second, White Lace and Black Leather. I'd like to get a copy of that on vinyl. And this one, M16. I don't know how well these guys are known, but I think they had maybe one or two records in the 80s, but this album is from the mid-80s, M16, and it's Locked and Loaded, the US band, I think, come from America, kind of just American 80s metal, melodic metal rock stuff. UFO's Phenomenon. I'd like to get a copy of this album on vinyl. I'd like to get an OG if I can. And the last one, I think this is the last, no, it's the second last. This is a grail, Big Country, the Buffalo Skinners. Very difficult to get on vinyl. It's a 1993 issue, that's why. To get that on vinyl would be astonishing. And Gotthard Lip Service, again, it's really hard to get on vinyl. It's 2006, but it was only ever released initially on CD, and then a few years later they did some LP pressings, but I think it was just limited. So they are out there, but again, the prices are ridiculous. So, and that is it. And that is half an hour. As I say, it's just a random list. If anybody, plus these may spark other people's interest as well. If there's anything on there they think, oh, I'm going to check that out as well. So as I say, that's just my updated wants list of stuff that I'm looking for over the course of my life, and hope you enjoyed that, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in another video. Take care, bye bye.